Hey, Tubies, this is Psychic Bob. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my new piece of jewelry. You know me, I'm addicted to jewelry. I'm always buying something. Anyways, luckily I don't have to buy a lot of expensive jewelry. All of my jewelry's not too expensive, so that makes it a little better. But check this out. This is my new pendant. It's the flame. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a flame. And it's got a little red crystal in it, like a ruby crystal. I got this because, as many of you know, I've been working lately with the goddess Vesta. I brought her into my home as my hearth goddess. And if you want to learn about Vesta and working with her, I have a video on that. I'll put the link below. But last week I did a video about that, and you can check that out. It's in the queue, but I'll put the link below as well. But I decided to get a flame pendant to represent Vesta, because Vesta is known as the goddess of the hearth, the goddess of the flame. And for those of us who honor Vesta, we keep a flame burning to honor her. And so this represents that I'm a keeper of the sacred flame. So anyways, I'm having a lot of fun, wearing it, and it really helps me feel close to the goddess. Well, I just had to come here. You guys are wonderful. I want to say I'm sorry I didn't get out a video yesterday for you on Sunday. Sunday ended up being a really kind of busy day. I had a lot of private readings, and then I did the channel panel in the evening. And I want to say thank you to all of you who came out to the channel panel. We had a really great turnout. It was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of famous psychics. I got to connect with Rob Gauthier and Kalina Angel, who's his partner. And I was so excited. I got to meet Kelly in the Raw. If you guys don't know Kelly in the Raw, she's a psychic here on YouTube. I love her. She's very famous. She travels the world and does talks about spiritual development. And it was really cool because yesterday when I came on, she was still on. So they brought me into the room and I actually got to have face-to-face encounter with her. And she said to me, I know you, you're Psychic Bob. I've seen you, people have talked about you on my Facebook. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you know who I am. Well, anyways, I actually got to meet her and I was so excited. So it was a fun day. I want to say thank you. All of you bought tickets and came out. We had a really great turnout. And everybody was just wonderful. And if you were there, you know what I mean. It was a lot of fun and a lot of profound wisdom. It really was. Well, hopefully we'll do some more of those in the future. I'll definitely let you know. But anyways, big shout out. Thank you to Rob and Kalina of E.T. Whisperer. They are wonderful, wonderful couple, wonderful psychics, gifted mediums, just amazing people. And I had a great time on your show. I want to say give shout out. So I'm going to put a link below to Rob's channel. Definitely go check him out. He is awesome. Big fan of him. Well, you know what we're going to talk about today? Today is Monday, and Monday, as you know, is the day of the moon. And I was thinking last night I went out walking under the moon, and it was beautiful because we're now at half moon. Half moon's really interesting because, we always talk about the crescent moon, and we talk about the full moon, the dark moon, but you never hear anybody talk about the half moon. That's when the moon looks like a big pie and it's literally sliced in half. It's not really a crescent, it's not full, it's just a half of a moon. But you know what? The half moon is something that always had my attention because I noticed the Wiccans never talk about the half moon. So I thought today we would have a little reading about the half moon. This is my book. This is my latest book out. It came out in the last year, and it's called Psychic Bob's, I've got some glare here, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. And I wrote this book, and I did all the artworks in it. If you want to get this, you can pop over to my website at robert-hickman.com, link below, and you can pick this up. You'll see it's got the pentacle on the front. I designed that pentacle. That's my own artwork. You like that? But this is a fun book. In fact, you know what I think I'll do? I'm going to read for you guys the prologue to the book, and then we'll have our reading from within a section from the book, okay? So at the beginning of this book, We have, just so you know, if you buy this, you get a lot of stuff in it. Because I have a poem at the beginning called Aquarius Witch. Then I've got a beautiful artwork of a Aquarian witch pouring water. And here's the title page, Psyche Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom by Bob Hickman. And we've got an intro and contents. But I'm going to read the prologue. This kind of sets the tone for the book, okay? So for those of you who are wondering what this book's like, just listen in, okay? And then we'll have a reading from one of the actual chapters as well, okay? Prologue. A few tall pine trees gently sway in the open field. The grass which has been cropped by the ever-eager goats is like a green carpet that is rich and lush. On the horizon now appears the silver-glowing orb of the moon. It is the reason that they have gathered. The sound of rustling robes brushing across the grass echoes above the thudding sounds of black shoes being cast off. Those gathering fill the cool, damp earth now with unshod feet. Someone calls out, "Everyone gather your brooms and let's form the circle." The moon is temporarily blocked from sight by the array of pointed steeple hats. Some hats are a crisp, shiny black, obviously dyed with the ink of raven feathers and starched 10 times over to stand tall like the mountains in the distance. Some of the older members of the circle have pointy black hats that have faded to a dull charcoal gray. It seems that no one under 50 years of age wears a charcoal gray hat. It's like the fading is a sign, a marker of the wisdom that sits beneath. Some have hats of purple and other hats of midnight blue with silver stars and moons sewn upon their towering points. One member of the circle is wearing a white pointed hat with a flowing silver ribbon that hangs down and over the wide brim around him, and another is seen sporting a red hat with gold stars embroidered all over. This is an eclectic lot, to be certain, but the Wicca are nothing if not eclectic, and this crew really has fashion sense. As they begin to form their circle around a large cast iron cauldron that sits in the middle of the circle, the moon is now well above the horizon, and the Great Mother shines down upon her children. I see in the silver light smiling faces in a circle round, some clutching brooms, some with staff in hand, and others holding wands. They all carry upon their faces the look of peace and joy, and their smiles make me glad that I am here. As it is the night of the full moon, it is the night of the witches. How you like that? Huh? That's the prologue to this book, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. Now, the witches that you hear about in that are actually characters throughout this book. I did again all the artwork. You can see every page has a picture. There's a witch. This one is titled Spiral Musings. There's a witch playing with incense, casting a spiral. One of my other drawings, here's one. This is one of my favorites that I did. Standing Stone's Moon Portal. There's a witch at the Standing Stones. Could be Stonehenge. And there's a moon rising over the portal. And you see the stars in the background and her little cat. I had fun doing all of these artworks. And if you want to see some of my artworks, you definitely have to get this because there's a lot of them in here. Well, today's reading, we're going to take it from my chapter, which is, again, something you don't see in most Wiccan books, called Half Moon Power. Okay, now there's our picture. You have to see the picture to appreciate this. See, we got a bunch of witches gathering. They're under the moon. You see they got their hats on. Some of them are carrying staffs. They're walking under the half moon. That's what the moon actually looks like right now. Last night I was out and it literally looked like that half moon. So if you go out tonight, chances are you'll still be able to see that, okay? All right, so I'm going to read this chapter to you, Half Moon Power. So many people think of life as a glass of milk that is half empty, meaning that they tend to see lack and view things from a position of discouragement. The eternal optimist will say in opposition that the glass is half full. Same glass, same amount of milk, but different perspective. Which is right? Well, if you're a witch, both are. But the optimist would be closer to the truth of magic. A magic practitioner is honest in acknowledging the lack, but a magical practitioner will see that the glass can be changed, not only to half full, but increasing to overflowing if need be. The half moon is seldom mentioned in Wiccan books, but I think this is a big mistake. Like the full moon and the dark moon, the half moon is also a time of power. Whether waning or waxing, we can draw power at this time to bring needed change in our lives. Our picture depicts a group of witches having a meetup under the waxing half moon. They gather excited about the power they perceive as growing. They are patient as they know that the glory of the full moon is not quite yet with them, but it is coming, and it is not far off. Our witches are like the optimists who can see that the proverbial glass of milk is half full. By observing the moon cycles and working our spells in harmony with this blessed energy, we can find the half full glass, even in challenging times. Watch the moon this next month, or actually I might say watch the moon this week. Notice the half moon and celebrate the blessings you have. And know that more will come as you open yourself up to receive the good of the Great Mother. So there you go. There's some half moon power. There's my artwork again, under the half moon. This is taken from my recent book that I put out. I did write this book, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom, and it shares my thoughts over the last 20 years of exploring the craft. Let me read to you. This is on the back cover, an excerpt from my book. It says, Wiccan Wisdom. Psychic Bob is back and shares his collected wisdom for those interested in walking the path of Wiccan spirituality. Also included are Bob's humorous and touching graphics of the witches of Wickaville. That's the name of the town all these witches live in. It's called Wickaville. This is a heart-touching, soul-invigorating, mind-opening work for one of America's top psychics, who is also a practitioner of the ancient path of the Wicca. Whether you are just exploring spirituality as a novice or a long-time practitioner, this book is sure to make you smile, laugh, and most of all, think with your heart and soul. So there you go. If you enjoy this, definitely check out my book. Go to my website, robert-hickman.com, and you can get this. Anyways, we're going to have more readings from this, so I hope you'll definitely keep watching. Wiccan Wednesday's coming up. I think we have some more stuff I want to talk about from this book, so definitely be here for that. And tomorrow we've got messages from the spirit world. That's right, so you don't want to miss that. Well, guys, listen, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all you who came out to this week's Saturday night seance. Thank you to all of you who came out to last night's video, the last night's webcast, the channel panel. Thank you to all of you who've come out for today's video. You guys rock. I love you. Love you guys. You're the best. Anyways, if you want to give Psychic Bob some love, why don't you hit subscribe? Be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. And while you're at it, as you know, if you go over to my website to check out this book, at the top of the tabs, it says books, bookstore. You can go there. That'll take you right into it, and you can buy these. But while you're there, you might want to read about the Order of the Purple Cord. That's a Wiccan order that I that I run, and I head that with Lady Angela of RareWiccaSpells.com. And we'd love you to come and explore our order. We're a group of eclectic solitaries. And if you want to learn more about that, definitely read at the website and send me an email, okay? The address is over there as well. So we'll see you soon. Listen, guys, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Messages from the Spirit World. Blessed be.